He's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Anderson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
To throw is Cousins. Throwing right, and that's complete. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon, it's the Falcons in possession. Handoff comes to Anderson. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
All right, now here we go.
Getting the call is Anderson running left. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Collins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Point after, right down the middle. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play action. Now Jackson. Flush to his right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Detroit! Detroit! Hot! Hot!
On third down, Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jordan. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Single, slot.
They go play action with Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it, now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it, we can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Lucky 56.
On second down, here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And it'll be intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Baltimore after this.
Here we go. Bring the energy. Let's go. Let's go. Rhino. Like that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Here we go. Bingo. First. Liz 50. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go.
A first down throw for Cousins. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he lost the football. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Back to the ground, Anderson. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
First. 300. Line out.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Leave it. Bring up 48.
Here's Cousins. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Here we go.
Following the penalty, Anderson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now first carry for their fullback. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Cousins throwing the out route incomplete. That's Richards. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. In for the score. And the Falcons have broken our tie. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half.
And he's into the clear. 30, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. And oh, it's blocked. The Falcons have it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
As you tell me all the time, Brandon, mark that play down. That should be a tie game. Instead, a great job by the guys blocking it. And, boy, they've got to have a great lift going off the field.
And the further it happens in the game and here in the second half, it just gets more magnified. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Another tote here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Detroit! Detroit!
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Escaping the pressure right. And his first throw here is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right? As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Room to run past midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, it's not a bad time to take a shot downfield. You've got a 1st and 5, but you've got to hope that the worst thing that comes out of it is an incompletion. Instead, this is good coverage, and it winds up being intercepted.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now a run with Anderson. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Carry number 20 coming up for Anderson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Baltimore. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll try and wind down some clock here with Anderson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The linebacker C.J. Mosley in on the stop. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Off the play fake, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, You don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They will run again with Coleman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Coleman. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
The Ravens on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Flushed out right. A dump off to Anderson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. And they'll run it here. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Again, Anderson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Now Cousins. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going on the field, but okay, I see you. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. Here is Anderson on 3rd and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock, so tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Tack McKinley in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one.
Let's go.
Now a give running left with Anderson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And his kick is indeed good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Falcons, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.